Hey, good morning. My name is Curly. I'm the high school pastor here at Twin Lakes Church, and it's my privilege to share with you this morning's devotion. When I was 15 years old, I met my first real heartfelt frustration with God. When I was 15 years old, sports were at the forefront of my mind, and all I could think about was a career in football. And I'd been playing football for several years, and as I went for my yearly sports physical, I was told that I had a degenerative bone condition in my left knee. Now, this was heartbreaking. It was not my plan. It was God's timing, and I was frustrated with it. What subsequently ended up happening was I had a bone graft, and I spent my whole sophomore year on crutches because it was non-weight bearing. This meant no more football, period. Football was over. And I really struggled with God's timing. How could he let a 15-year-old teenager who worshiped and adored sports, how could he allow that all to be taken away? Well, it started a downward spiral to me where I really doubted God's timing. And in John chapter 11, we meet Mary and Martha, whose brother has just died, and they are really doubting God's timing. At one point, in John chapter 11, the sister actually says, "If you had been here, God, he would still be alive." Now, I haven't faced that kind of frustration with God, but I have faced my own frustrations with losing sports. And that frustration left me empty and hurting, and I tried all sorts of things for several years to fill that void. And really what it came down to was I could not fill that void by myself. I needed God's plan. And after fighting and wrestling against God's plan for years, I finally came to the understanding that his timing always worked out better than mine. And like Martha, what I had to do was admit that Jesus was my Lord and Savior. And Mark mentioned it last weekend that the first thing you need to do is you have to have trust in Jesus personally. And that was a hard fought battle for me because I thought, how could a God who loves me take away sports and send me down a path of years of knee surgeries? But I did. I came to that point where I believed, like Martha, that he was my Lord and Savior. And one thing that's really helped me over these years is believing Ephesians 3:20 and 21 that says, he is able to do more than I can ask or imagine, according to his power at work within me. And I have to trust that God is doing more than I can ask or imagine. And like many of you, I'm creative and I've got an active imagination. And it's comforting to know that whatever I can ask or imagine, God can do it better. And when I trust in his timing, it always works out. It's been an uphill battle, lots of struggles, lots of joys, but following him has always proven to be the better plan. So you might ask yourself today, in what areas am I struggling to trust in Jesus? Well, the good thing is he's not afraid. God is not afraid of your questions, of your struggles. I would encourage you, like Martha, to surrender those to God and see how his timing works out the best.